Some people may be naturally lucky, but these people take it to a whole new level. Here are the 10 luckiest people in the world. Number 10. David Cho's lucky decision. David Cho was an artist, and Facebook's founding president Sean Parker was a huge fan of Cho's work. So in 2005, Parker asked Cho to paint Facebook's first official office. Cho was a school dropout and a criminal, and he was having a hard time making it as an artist. He accepted the job and was given a choice. He could take $60,000 for the job, or he could be paid in stocks. Parker strongly suggested that Cho take his payment in stocks instead of cash. It was a gamble. Cho needed the money, and there was no guarantee that Facebook would do well. But he took the gamble. Fast forward to today, and Cho's stocks are worth $200 million, which is a far cry from the initial $60,000 he was offered. Number 9. Rick Norsigian's lucky plates. In spring 2002, Rick Norsigian, an avid collector who often found treasures by pursuing local garage sales, stumbled upon the treasure of his life. He noticed 2 decaying boxes and took a peek inside. The boxes were full of glass photographic plates. They were old, but Norsigian thought they might be worth something. So he bought both boxes for a grand total of $45. Turns out, he was right. They were worth something. The plates in the boxes were the work of the famous photographer Ansel Adams. Norsigian has not yet sold the plates, but the entire collection is estimated at a staggering $200 million. Number 8. Kevin Lewis's lucky mix-up. Kevin Lewis became a millionaire by pure accident. In August 2013, the Cincinnati Horseshoe Casino decided to do a promotion. They held a random draw, awarding the winner a $1 million prize. The name drawn was Kevin Lewis, so when he heard his name, he quickly went to claim his prize. However, when the casino went to verify his identity, they discovered that he was the wrong Kevin Lewis. The real prize belonged to a different Kevin Lewis. Casino management thought long and hard about how to handle the mishap. Eventually, they decided that it was only right to award both Kevin Lewises the $1 million payout. So, the wrong and very lucky Kevin Lewis walked away a millionaire. Before we move on, be sure to subscribe to Daily Top 10s with notifications on so you don't miss any of our videos. Number 7. Chris Clark's lucky domain. It's hard to remember a time before the internet, but in 1994, the internet was still relatively new. During that time, people bought various domain names without really knowing what they were doing or the potential value of the names. Chris Clark was one such man. He forked out $20 to purchase the domain name pizza.com. He wasn't really sure if this purchase was a good one or not, but in 2008, Clark was glad he had made the lucky purchase. Clark sold the domain name for $2.6 million. It was one of the largest sums of money ever paid to an individual for a domain name. Number 6. The Lucky Declaration of Independence discovery. In Adamstown, Pennsylvania, an unknown man became rich when he discovered a very valuable document. The man was at a garage sale when a painting caught his eye. He purchased the painting for $4 and intended to hang it in his house. But when he removed the frame, he found something strange behind it. Behind the frame was a completely intact copy of the Declaration of Independence. The document was dated July 4, 1776, and was signed by John Dunlap. Experts were able to confirm that it was, in fact, one of the original 24 copies made. The copies were meant to be sent out to each of the colonies at that time. The document was sold to the president of a fine arts investment for a staggering $2,400,000. Number 5. George and Betty Davis's lucky cardboard box. George and Betty Davis of New York were rummaging through junk in the attic. They opened a plain cardboard box and pulled out a strange and very detailed figurine. The figurine turned out to be a very rare Fabergé figurine, commissioned by the Tsar Nicholas II of Russia. The figurine was of Nikolai Nikolaevich Pushchnisikov, who was the Empress Alexandra Fyodorovna's bodyguard. The Tsar had Fabergé make it for his wife in 1912, and it was one of only 50 figurines ever carved by Fabergé. The figurine was extremely detailed with sapphire eyes. The figurine was put up for auction with a starting price of $500,000, but the figurine was sold to a London-based jeweler for a staggering $5.2 million. Number 4. Charlie Ayers' lucky career switch. Charlie Ayers was a personal chef working in Silicon Valley. He was making a fairly decent annual salary at around $80,000, but he wasn't happy with his job, and he was looking for a change. So when he was offered a position as a chef for a small tech startup, he weighed the pros and cons. On the con side, the job had a much lower annual salary than his current salary. They were willing to pay him $45,000 annually, but the job came with a number of other perks and benefits, including stock options. So Ayers decided to take a leap of faith. It turned out to be a pretty good decision. The startup company was Google, and Ayers became their executive chef. When Ayers left in 2005, he left with stocks worth $26 million. Number 3. Eric Law's lucky coins. In November 1992, when 69-year-old Eric Laws lost his hammer, he grabbed an old metal detector and set out to find it. He and his wife were living a modest life off his pension, but their lives were about to change. In a nearby field, still in search of his hammer, Laws came across a silver coin. He immediately started digging. He was surprised to find more treasures, including a solid gold necklace adorned with rare jewels. From there, archaeologists arrived at the scene and dug up the surrounding area. Their findings were astonishing. They found a wooden chest full of 15 gold bracelets, a silver bust of a woman, and more than 1,000 gold coins. The loot has been called the most important artifacts of Rome ever discovered in Britain. The payout? The entire collection was worth $15 million, a lot more than Law's lost hammer. Number 2. Joan R. Ginther's lucky lottery. Joan R. Ginther's name should be in the dictionary under the definition of lucky. Ginther has won the lottery not once, not twice, not even 3 times. She has won the lottery a total of 4 times. Ginther, who is a former maths professor with a PhD, is in statistics from Stanford University, claims that all of her winnings had nothing to do with any sort of mathematical calculations. They were all just pure luck. She won her first lottery in 1993 for $5.4 million. Then, in 2003, she won again to the tune of $2 million. Her third win was for $3 million in 2005, and her fourth and final win was her biggest. She won $10 million in 2008. Ginther has won over $20 million. But just how lucky is she? Well, the odds of winning the lottery 4 times is 1 in 18 septillion, making Ginther one of the luckiest people on the planet. Number 1. Terry Horton's lucky painting. Terry Horton was a 73-year-old retired truck driver when she stumbled upon a fortunate find. Horton found a strange painting at a thrift store and bought it for $5. She was going to give the painting to a friend who was depressed at the time to cheer her up. But when the picture, which was 66 inches by 46 inches, wouldn't fit through the door of her friend's home, Horton decided to get rid of the painting. She put it up for sale at a yard sale. However, an art teacher wandered by and noticed the unique drip and splash method used to create the painting. The art teacher suggested to Horton that she may very well have an original Jackson Pollock, to which Horton replied, "Who is Jackson Pollock?" Jackson Pollock, a famous American painter, is best known for his abstract expressionism. Original Pollock paintings sell for millions, and Horton quickly realized that if the painting were a Pollock, it would yield a hefty sum. The painting was unsigned though and had no record of authenticity. As a result, the painting caused quite a stir in the art world. Some believed it was not a Pollock at all, but a forensic expert verified its authenticity, and Horton was offered $9 million by a Saudi Arabian private art collector. She turned down the offer though. She believes the painting is worth closer to $50 million, and she is still holding out for the right buyer. The fact that Horton accidentally stumbled on a potentially original Pollock earns Horton the top spot on our list of the 10 luckiest people in the world. Check out our previous videos on 10 greatest entrepreneurs who shaped the world and 10 most creepy abandoned towns. And remember to subscribe to Daily Top 10s with notifications on so you don't miss any of our videos.